Yeah, so good evening, everyone. Welcome to our session. My name is Nash Akhtar. So remember, today we're going to focus on reading and writing, and I'm pretty sure you will find it useful because quite often students, when they prepare for this exam, they struggle with reading, and also sometimes they don't know how to achieve a very high band score for writing. So we're going to understand the key principles, and I'm pretty sure you'll find it useful. So, guys, if you're here for the first time, my name is Nash Akhtar. I'm a certified IELTS trainer. I worked as a director of an official IELTS testing center in Eastern Europe. I'm a certified career coach as well. So I prepared students for more than 10 years, mainly in Eastern Europe. And to be very honest, I prepared more than 4,000 students. So quite often, my students, they achieve very high scores on their first attempt. So like I said, my main involvement was in Eastern Europe. So countries like Russia, Estonia, Latvia, Romania, and so on. And since 2023, we have been actively preparing students from Sri Lanka. And quite often, our students, they achieve very high scores on their first attempt. So for all our participants as a complimentary, tomorrow we'll be sharing this ebook, and I'm pretty sure you'll find it useful. It's about useful words and phrases for IELTS essays because we're going to focus on writing. So I'll be showing what kind of words we can use to ensure a high score, like to make sure that we achieve a high score. And I'm pretty sure if you know these words and if you use them naturally, you should not learn it by heart, but if you're able to use them properly, you will definitely achieve a very high score. So don't forget, make sure to get the book. So that's about me. If you want, I can show the results a bit later. But the thing is, guys, I would like to know our participants, would like to know how you guys prepare and so on. So could you please introduce yourself, like your name, which part of Sri Lanka, why do you need IELTS, your required score, and can you tell me whether you find IELTS reading difficult and why do you find it difficult? Or do you find writing difficult and why do you find writing difficult? So I'll give 2 3 minutes. Would like to know all our participants. So could you please introduce yourselves? Yeah, please go ahead. Like, why do you need IELTS, the required score? When I plan to take the exam, are you choosing? Maybe you're choosing between IELTS and PTE. So would like to know that as well. If you want, you can speak or you can type. Go ahead, guys. So we have Anne, Dilhani, Dilini, Dilushi. So a lot of D's here. Dimathi, yes. Then F32, I don't know what it's a. Himaya, iPhone, Janani, Jayani, Misadi, Arvind, Quincy, that's a nice name. Renu Kamali, yes. Sahas Pereira, Saru, Savini Sewandi, yeah. Christian. I know Ishan Christian, but we have a Shan Christian here. That's great. Suganya, Vidu. Yeah, so guys, please would like to know. So maybe you can type. So who is planned to take the exam in the nearest future? Maybe end of March, first week of April. Do we have such students? So Sean, maybe you would like to introduce yourself. What about Christian? Christian, maybe can you tell us why do you need IELTS, your required score, and when I plan to take the exam, Christian? Uh-huh. Christian, go ahead, please. Uh-huh. Okay, you unmuted yourself, but then you became quiet. Uh-huh. Sewandi, what about you? Hi, Sewandi. Hi, Anne. It's There's a connection issue, Sewandi.
Mandy, can you
Uh-huh.
hear
It,
me?
it's breaking, Sewandi. I'm so sorry. It's breaking. It's a pity. You're the first to speak. Mhm. Okay. Hi, Hassan from Candy, right? Hassan. Okay. So, and the Hiwala understood migration still have not booked the exam. Great. So, and do you know the required score for every section? And what's the required score? Is it like seven for every each section and overall seven?
Yes,
I will.
seven. More than seven is better. More
Uh-huh.
score. Yeah.
And it's going to be general, right? Is it
Yes,
general or
general,
academic?
general,
General.
general.
Okay. Okay, Vidu. Okay, understood. Vidu, how did you prepare? Can you tell us how did you prepare? Okay, enter university in Latvia. I need a band score above 5 and plan to take the exam end of April. Okay, that's great. Sahas, thank you. Thanks for sharing. Sadia. So, Miss Sandhi, you need 7 overall, and do you need 7 for every section? Okay. So, Dil
Hi,
is
my
from,
name is
hi,
Savini.
hi, uh-huh. Hi. Hi, Savini. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I am from Polgahavila and I need to do IELTS. So I was just planning to do with the IELTS or PT because I want to enter for university in the New Zealand.
New Zealand. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
And
I have planned to do the teaching career, that means early childhood. And I need
understood.
band score around 69 for PTE. They said like that way.
And for IELTS, do you know the required score? So 69 means
Uh,
like 6.57.
seven,
7,
seven.
7.
IELTS
So
will
what
be
do you
seven.
think? Okay, so what do you think, Savini? Which is easier according to your opinion, IELTS or PTE? No, be honest.
Actually, I just want to tell I'm not familiar with IELTS also. I just go through the YouTube and
Mm.
just find some information.
Ah,
From that, I just feel like PT will be okay. I don't know.
okay, okay.
uh, because this is my first attempt. I haven't tried before.
Understood, understood. Yes, we'll get there. Okay, I'll explain that. Okay, Suganya, I'm Suganya from Jaffna. Okay, that's great. I need IELTS for Australian immigration, overall 7 each. Mhm. Okay, so immigration, understood, understood. And we have Janani. Great, great, Janani. So thanks for sharing. I'm sure you are able to speak. I mean, you could have spoken, but it's fine. Great. But 8 overall. Hi, Niketana. I'm from Niketana. I'm sorry. Currently in Russia as a medical student. Wow, really? Really? That's great. And where exactly from Russia, Niketana? Which city? Because I lived in St. Petersburg for a long time. Great. And I hope everything is fine there. And Quincy is from Jaffna too. Beautiful name. University in Canada. 7. Okay, great. I'll be quick, guys. I am Yanan. Amparo. Okay. Rihanna, what is the required score? Seven, yes. Hi, Seven. I'm sorry I couldn't speak to you. Yes. It's okay, Seven. No problem. Okay, 7 overall. Fine. So, guys, thanks. First of all, thank you very much. I really like when people are responsive, when they're very active. That's a good thing. So, that means you're going to be involved as well. So, guys, first of all, we're going to focus on IELTS reading. I'm not going to speak anything general. I will definitely teach you. I guarantee. And you'll see that. Okay. So, we're not going to speak about, how great we are and so on. We're not going to go there. I'm going to teach you some important points. And if you understand this, then reading becomes way easier than you think. And I can tell you that IELTS, if you go with the right approach, it is way easier than PTE. I can prepare for PTE as well, but guys, I'll tell you why. Because only in Sri Lanka, guys, we go with the flow, right? And IELTS becomes very confusing because we always have access to unreliable resources. And I'm going to show you that as well. So I'm not going to mention anything that is like, based on my opinion. I'm going to show you all based on facts with proof. And you will understand, yes, this is the way you should prepare. Okay. So, guys, don't think it's going to be difficult. I'm going to speak only in English if that's okay. But if you have questions, please let me know. Okay. But anyway, guys, it's an English exam. So I really don't understand why we should explain things in Sinhala and Tamil. Because if you want to achieve more than 5, right, like 6 and above, you need to understand the language. So because sometimes we go and take PTE because we think it's about like reading a sentence loud, listening to an audio and then repeating it. And only that, let's be very honest, no one in Sri Lanka, no one for that matter, shows a single tip on how to prepare. When you buy the course, maybe they just to practice this, but no one shares like a single tip on what should be done with PTE, guys. Okay, so it's a different exam, it's a different format. IELTS is a different exam. So we cannot compare, although I said, but IELTS is way more structured. And IELTS is based on skills. And there is one important skill that you need to know, that is paraphrasing. So if you take PTE, it's a different type of exam. It is actually an exam where you have integrated skills, listening and speaking together, right? Or like, speaking and writing. So it's integrated. It's a different format. But IELTS, on the other hand, every skill is separate. That means listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So in a way, you don't have to be confused. If you want to pass PT, you should have a good memory. You double check that if I'm lying. Whereas in IELTS, you need to be more focused. Two different things. There are people, they have a good memory, but there are those, they can't focus much. So here we have to really understand the skills we are good at, and that would be very useful as well. Fine, guys. Now let's start. So today, guys, I'm going to show you, right, when it comes to IELTS, there are skills you need to know, right? And then we're going to do a bit of matching headings, how to deal with true, false, not given, and how to develop high band score answers. So like I mentioned, a quick review about like IELTS. Number one, it's listening. So it's going to be for 40 minutes if you take the paper-based test. But now, since we have the computer-based test, it's going to be only for half an hour. Reading, it's 60 minutes with 40 questions. Writing is going to be for 1 hour. And then we have speaking. So listening, reading, writing, it's going to be without breaks. Speaking would be after listening, reading, and writing, or it could be before. Because nowadays, even with IDP, our official partner, what happens is that you might have your speaking part first, maybe in the morning around 11 o'clock, and then you will have listening, reading, and writing at 1 p.m. But when you register, you can choose. So the key point is that you don't have a break in between when you deal with listening, reading, and writing, right? So you have to spend time, and that's going to take, right, half an hour for listening, 1 hour for reading, 1 hour for writing. So that's 2.5 hours. And then additionally, you have speaking. But if you take PTE, it's 2 hours, so it's not that long. But it doesn't matter, guys. It's also quite intense. We need to know that. Now, the thing is, why most people never reach band 7 plus, or maybe let's say 40%. I would not say most. Why? Number one, they study hard, but study the wrong things. Now, this is not like, a stereotype. It's true. They memorize vocabulary list and grammar rules, but IELTS doesn't test your English. It tests your ability to perform specific tasks under time pressure. That's an important thing. That's what you're going to learn today with reading. So it's not about reading the whole text and answering, right? They attend IELTS classes that teach everything except IELTS. It's also true that we see that trend everywhere, okay? So the teacher is qualified, the classroom is full, but nobody talks about IELTS task types, or they just do the practice test. Then, truth three is actually they practice without strategy, doing test after test without knowing why you got answers wrong is not preparation, it's just repeated failure with extra steps. Quite often, what happens is it's a very common trend where students take the exam once, twice, and after the third time, if they don't achieve their required score, they become frustrated. They wonder what's wrong. It actually breaks their confidence. It really affects their self esteem, right? Why does it happen? And how can we avoid that? You can avoid that if you assess your progress. I'm going to teach that now, guys. I'm not confused. I'll teach that, okay? And the next point is they don't know how the examiner thinks. Every IELTS task has a hidden logic. Listening, reading, especially for speaking and for writing, and especially for speaking. During the speaking exam, there are some things that you need to know. And if you know them, the examiner would see. And if you perform accordingly, you can achieve a very high score. Guaranteed, guys. Okay? Guaranteed. Fine. So let's start with reading. That's the main focus today. So we know we have listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Our main aim was to focus on reading and writing, and we'll stick to our plan. So remember, reading is the second section at the exam, right? Soon after listening, you will have reading. Doesn't matter whether you take academic IELTS or general IELTS, it's going to be for 1 hour, 60 minutes. If you're taking academic IELTS, you will have 3 passages. If you plan to take general IELTS, you will have 3 sections. Is it clear? So 3 passages for academic IELTS, 3 sections for general IELTS. Now remember, for both academic and general, you will have 40 questions. 40 questions. Now, to achieve a 7 for academic IELTS, you can make 10 mistakes. To achieve a 7 for general IELTS, you can make only 7 mistakes. Why? Why do we have this differentiation? Because academic IELTS is more challenging and general IELTS is easier. And you will see that. Okay, so that's why, the marking system is a bit more strict with general reading. Yeah, basically. And for every passage, you'll have 12 to 14 questions. Now, the thing is, guys, today you will understand the importance of Cambridge IELTS books. And if you want, tomorrow we can share the link and you can download all these practice test books. And that's important. Okay. So let's try to understand academic reading and I'll show you. Okay. So we're going to focus on academic reading format. You see, we have urban farming. You see, passage 1. Right? We have summary completion, table completion based on with the missing words. True. We have classifying questions. And again, what do we have? We have sentence completion. Third passage, what do we have? We have, again, finding information from the paragraph, summary completion, classifying question. Do you see this? Now, if you look at another passage, we will have similar pattern. Like we have the text, we have summary completion, true, false, not given. Second passage, we have multiple choice questions, yes, no, not given, and then summary completion based on words given in a box. Then the third passage, we have true, false, not given, summary completion. So what you need to understand is, according to the official guidelines, according to the syllabus, the core questions are multiple choice questions, true, false, not given, summary completion. So if you are able to answer most of these questions, I guarantee you can easily achieve a band 7. Why? You'll be making only 8 or 6 mistakes, but the other questions are not that difficult too. So these are the core questions. These are the core questions. Do you understand, guys? Yes? So that's why you have to stick to Cambridge IELTS practice test books. Is it clear? Fine. So general reading, it's the same. Let me see if I can show, guys, just because I think we have people who are planning to take general IELTS, right? So I'll just quickly show them the format as well, right? It's not nice. So we prepare for both. And that's the thing, guys, you see, for example, you need to have a decent level of English. But if you have it, it's not a difficult exam. So if you look at general reading, right? What did I tell you? I told you all that there are 3 sections. What does it mean, right? 3 sections, right? You see, this is reading. Section 1. We have a text. We have one task. What is this? Finding information from the text. We have the second text. We have true, false, not given. So you see, with academic reading, right, you have a passage, you have 2 question types. For general reading, for the first section, you have the text, you have one question type. You have the next text smaller, you have another question type. Section 2, the same. You see, we have the text, we have to complete the sentence. We have the second text, we have to deal with this task. But for the third passage, you see, we have matching headings, summary completion. So 2 question types for the third passage. So it's similar. The length is similar to academic reading. Is that clear? Yeah. So if you look at it, it's easier. It's easier to understand. It's not that long. The words are simpler, less complicated, and you'll be able to deal with it. Do you have questions, guys? Okay. Guys, is it difficult? Do you want me to explain in Sinhala and in Tamil? Be honest. Is it difficult or can you understand me? Because I'm now in Sri Lanka for a short visit and I understand that even IELTS is prepared in Sinhala and in Tamil because I've been teaching and all my students got very high scores. So, but is anything too difficult for you? Am I too advanced? Is it clear? Maybe can you tell me the truth? No, right? Okay. I hope you can understand me. So it's clear, right? So based on that, guys, right, we're going to move on to our lesson. So the thing is, what is important here is that we should not read the whole text. right? We never read the whole text. So there are common mistakes we should avoid. Number one, people find it difficult. Okay, great. Thank you, Dunya. Okay, fine. So, guys, look, number one is lack of exposure. So no one can say, that's the thing, guys. You see, you can't just go for general points, right? You can't fall for like, general things. No one can say you can achieve a very good score without the exposure. No one can say that. If I tell you that, I'm lying. So it's very important. If you have your exam maybe in 2 months or maybe in a month, right? You need to question yourself, how often do I read for leisure? How often do I read in English to find information? By the way, guys, how often do you all do that? So if you do that regularly, then that is going to be a contributing factor. That's going to make your preparation effective. So that's important. Next one is reading the text and then focusing on the answers. Now, quite often, even on YouTube, they say, read the text quickly, go through the passage quickly. You must have seen it. It's wrong. So you're never supposed to read the whole text word by word. You never do that. You're not supposed to do that, right? Starting with practice test immediately. Don't do that. Because first we need to know the skills, then we need to master the approach. So we need to kind of know how to approach every question type. And then we need to focus on complete test. The fourth point is trying to answer from your knowledge. You don't do that as well. You shouldn't do that. Okay. So, guys, when it comes to IELTS reading, there are 5 essential skills, and you will see that. There are 5 skills we need to know. Number one, skimming. That means to read quickly and understand the general idea. So that means you don't read the whole text. You try to get a general idea by names, words. So, you read the first and the last sentence. That's skimming. Then scanning. You don't read the whole text. You try to look for names, dates, right? Numbers. So you don't have to read like John. You just scan. That's scanning. Identifying keywords, a very important skill, both for listening and for reading. When you read questions and statements, you need to understand, you need to identify, I'm sorry, guys, you need to identify words which are important for us to understand the question better, right? So in order to understand the question, you need to know which words are important from the question. Then paraphrasing, expressing the same ideas in a different way. IELTS is the only exam that is based on paraphrasing. If you look at PTE, Duolingo, TOEFL, Cambridge exams, right? They don't focus much on this, but IELTS is solely based on paraphrasing. You will understand that today. So the moment you understand this skill, you'll be able to deal with any question type. And the fifth one is to predict the missing word. Why? We have sentence completion, we have summary completion, right? So for that, we need to predict the missing word. What kind of word is missing? So that's an important skill as well. Is it clear, guys? Yes. So you need to know that for each question type, you will have to implement maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe all 5 skills. So mostly 4 skills together. So you need to understand the syllabus. Now, for example, we have sentence completion. I've already mentioned that. Then we have matching headings. This is quite tricky. I would say one of the trickiest question types, but it's part of the syllabus. If you go through the latest Cambridge IELTS practice test book, the 20th edition, you can still find this question type. So that means we need to know how to deal with it. Finding information from the paragraph, you saw that. It is very common. We need to know how to deal with it. Classifying questions, you saw that. That means, what is mentioned about each names. Now, for example, a TSI cut. You scan for TSI cut, you read carefully and match with the description. True, false, not given. The most popular question type. So yes, we need to know how to deal with it. I'm going to teach you all today, guys. Really. Multiple choice questions. So you see, so at the exam, it's very important, guys. At the exam, you should not feel surprised. When you prepare for these question types, right, you won't feel like, oh, I see a new question type. It should not happen. It should not happen. So that's why, guys, look, can you tell me? There is an amazing website. Have you seen this website, guys? I'm going to promote it. Have you seen this website? Who's using this website? Can you, this one, have you seen it? Have you seen this? Can you please tell me? This one, it's called IELTSonlinetest.com. Really nice. A lot of practice tests. Who's using it for their preparation? Especially the ones who are taking the exam very soon. Anyone? Have you ever seen this? IELTSonlinetest.com. Very popular, guys. Amazing. Who's using it? No one? Come on, you serious? Anyone? Maybe type, guys. Is anyone using it? No? Have you ever heard about this website? Okay. Well, to be honest, that makes me quite happy that you don't know. Because why? It's a very popular website. So the thing is, guys, sometimes we feel like we need to using. Okay. Okay. The thing is, guys, actually, it's better you don't use it. It's better you don't use it. I'll show you why. So this is where students struggle. IELTS, the other point is, it's the most popular language test. And there is a lot of information. Why, guys? Now, you remember I showed you the Cambridge IELTS practice test book. I showed you the Cambridge IELTS practice test books. And you saw the question types, the question patterns. Now, look at this website, guys. Okay. Look how they try to scam. Okay. So many people use this actually. So what did I tell you? There are 3 passages and we saw the question types. Now look at this question. Now, for example, how old was Julian at the time of the crash? It's not very common. We didn't see such. Then here, what happened to the plane? Multiple choice questions? Maybe. Okay, yes, no, not given. You see, multiple choice question, yes, no, not given. And this kind of pattern doesn't come at the real exam. Then look at this, guys. What is this? It's classifying questions. Then yes, no, not given. And then you see, these questions is, and here, for example, we saw the types of questions we had. You see, you will not have such questions at the exam. So what happens is that quite often students prepare with the wrong materials. And when they sit for the exam, they get stuck. That's the reality. So this is the biggest issue. Now, for example, if you're listening from YouTube, it's a big mistake. Because even listening has a pattern. I'm not going to spend time on listening now. So that's the most important thing, guys. You need to understand the pattern, the question types based on official materials. Now, we have another link from the British Council, although we don't work with him. And as you can see, right, it's an official site. It's an official site, no doubt in that, right? So here, what do we have? You see, matching headings. The first one, you see, because here we have the paragraphs. If you can see, guys, yeah, we have the paragraphs. Then we have matching headings. Then what do we have? Summary completion, like sentence completion and summary completion. That's correct. That's correct. You see, so questions have, so each text, you will see a pattern of questions. You need to know the pattern. Is it clear? So although you might feel it's too much, these are important things. If you don't prepare like that, you will never achieve a very high score. Today morning, I was contacted from my European team, a girl from Kyrgyzstan. Of course, Kyrgyzstan is in the, how to say, it's a Eurasian country. And so they told me like they have a very specific situation where the student had taken the exam 7 times, and she needs 6.5. So that's why she told me I've been preparing and she's crying. So they asked me to kind of, they wanted me to see how we can help. So I just had a call. So I understand that, the student is not weak or not that she doesn't have the capability or the ability to prepare well. It's just she's just depending on wrong resources. And that can be very frustrating, you see. So please understand that. So don't run after all the materials. If you want to find material, you stick to Cambridge IELTS. Number 1. If you want guidelines, right, you stick to official materials like IELTS.org. Read the format there, guys, because those resources, they're reliable. We need to know them. Fine. So, guys, now let's understand the time management. You must have heard some people say, like, I couldn't answer the last 4 questions. I couldn't answer the last 20 questions. Why? Because of poor time management. Why does it happen? Number 1, they spend too much time on the first passage, but they shouldn't. because the first passage is the easiest. The first section for general reading is the easiest. So you need to spend 15 minutes on the first passage. Then you need to spend 20 minutes on the second passage. Then you need to spend 25 minutes on the third passage. So remember the time management formula: 15, 20, 25. It's very important. So when you are preparing at home, when you're doing practice test, you need to time that as well if you're aiming for a very high score. And it's not difficult, guys. So if you practice, it's not difficult. So remember the time management formula: 15, 20, 25. So now, guys, we're going to focus on the 5 skills I mentioned, okay? I promised y'all, and we're going to learn. So listen to it. If you really plan to pass the exam, it will be useful. If you're not, then relax, really. But if it's really important for y'all, if it's a life changer, if it's a decisive factor, I guarantee you can't find this in you can't find on any websites or on YouTube. So I'm pretty sure it will be useful. So try to stay a bit focused, guys, okay? Because as you can see, I'm not speaking anything unnecessary. We are focusing on learning. So we know that there are 5 skills. What are they? Once again: skimming, scanning, paraphrasing, identifying keywords, and predicting the missing words, okay? So what is skimming? Skimming means to read the paragraph quickly and get a general idea. It says you have limited time to take the IELTS exam, so read only what you need to know in order to do the task. It is a good idea to read the first sentence of a short paragraph only. In longer paragraphs, read the first and last sentence. This technique is called skim reading. You can say, wow, really? Yes, there is a way of doing it. Every paragraph is structured like a triangle that is facing downwards, because the main idea is the first sentence. Now, for example, public transport has a number of advantages. Firstly, it's affordable. Then you explain. Then you can say it is convenient. These are the reasons why people use public transport. So quite often, the first sentence of the paragraph will give you the general idea. The last sentence of the paragraph would give you specific information. You see, so that's why we first read the first and the last sentence. But it doesn't mean that you only focus on that method. We will see what other steps we need to follow. So, for example, guys, look at this. Since the beginning, trees have furnished us with 2 of life's essentials: food and oxygen. Since the beginning, trees have provided us with 2 of life's essentials: food and oxygen. Today, their value continues to increase, and more benefits of trees are being discovered as their role expands to satisfy the needs created by our modern lifestyles. You see, so since the beginning, trees have provided us 2 of life's essentials, 2 essential things: food and oxygen. Today, their value continues to increase, and more benefits of trees are being discovered as their role expands to satisfy the needs created by our modern lifestyles. Look at these 3 headings. A, everyday and unexpected human needs met by trees. B, the changing value of trees with the development of human civilization. C, the persistence of trees in the human memory. Guys, when you read the first and the last sentence, which heading is suitable? Is it A, B, or C? It says, since the beginning, trees have provided us 2 essentials. Today, their value continues to increase, right? And more benefits of trees are being discovered as their role expands to satisfy the needs created by our modern lifestyles. Which one would you go for?
B.
Well done. Very good. Very good. So I think everyone would agree it's B, right? It's not everyday and unexpected human needs met by trees. It's not like, we want to fly, trees support us. No. The persistence of trees in the human memory, that is out of the topic. So well done. It's actually B. It's B. So the idea here is that the last sentence would always have specific information such as examples, reasons, and so on. The first sentence will have the general idea. So here we just try to get an idea. We want to make an assumption what the paragraph is about, That's why we follow this approach. I hope it's clear. So we saw that we have this matching headings. So these are the steps you need to follow. Number one, read the first and the last sentence. Number two, predict what kind of heading is suitable. Number three, go through the headings and choose the suitable one. But then we need to be sure, right? It's not gambling. Number four, underline the keywords and see if there are points supporting the heading in the middle of the paragraph. In the middle of the paragraph, can you find synonyms and so on? So these are the 4 steps you need to follow. So guys, let's remember once again, read the first and the last sentence and make an assumption. Then predict what kind of heading is suitable. Then go through the headings and choose the suitable one. Underline the keywords and see if there are points supporting the heading in the middle of the paragraph. So guys, listen to me carefully. When we read, we need to read with a purpose. We can't read like a prayer. Right now, for example, we can't say since the beginning trees have furnished, oh my God, how am I going to pass this exam? You can't read like that. So you have to read like this. Since the beginning, there is a comma. Since the beginning, trees have furnished us. You see, whenever there is a verb, maybe we don't know this meaning, the meaning of this verb, but trees have furnished us with 2 of life's essentials, food and oxygen. Today, their value continues to increase, and more benefits of trees are being discovered as the role expands to satisfy the needs created by our modern lifestyles. You see, so you have to read with a purpose. That's an important thing, okay? So now, take your time. I'll read the first and the last sentence. Then you need to think about what the paragraph is about. Choose a heading and then try to find some key phrases in the middle of the paragraph to be sure. Okay, look at the paragraph. It says, many animals, including elephants, koalas, and giraffes, eat leaves for nourishment. Many animals, including elephants, koalas, and giraffes, eat leaves for nourishment. Leaf-covered branches keep many animals, such as birds and squirrels, out of the reach of predators. So many animals, including elephants and koalas, giraffes, eat leaves for nourishment. They eat leaves. And leaf-covered branches keep many animals, such as birds and squirrels, out of the reach of predators. So you see how trees are being useful for these animals. That's my assumption. Can you choose a heading and find
B.
some proof? What about the rest? So I heard B already. What about the rest? It's B. It's B, right? How trees are useful for wildlife. And if you look at, and then guys, you see, you can't just guess by that. You need to see proof in the middle. Look, animals also eat much of the same fruit that we enjoy. You see, and it says hundreds of living creatures call trees their home. You see, I'm not reading the whole paragraph. I'm trying to find phrases in the middle. So guys, remember, this is not my technique. Remember, this is not like, shortcuts, like strategies. No, this is the official guideline. Remember that. This is the official guideline. So that's why it's important. Okay. So now you can say, Nash, why can't I read the whole paragraph? Why such a headache? No, it's different. Because at the exam, you're going to have 11 to 12, maybe 9 minimum headings. You're going to have less paragraphs. So you can't read one paragraph and get an idea. Your aim is to choose the heading quickly and then look for proof in the middle of the paragraph. Do you understand? Your aim is to choose the heading very quickly and look for proof in the middle. That's how you do it. You see, that's why we have this technique. So that's why it's important. I hope it's clear, right? Fine. So guys, I'm going to be quiet. Can you all do this? Read slowly, only the first and the last. Make an assumption. Choose a heading. Look for some proof in the middle before you choose. Okay, I'm going to be quiet, absolutely quiet. I want you all to try. Now, contribute. See, make it a bit, contribute to saving. There's a verb, contribute.
C.
Well done. Well done. So you see, I see that everybody got it, right? I see that it's C, and well done. Very good. So, guys, look, it says individual trees and shrubs have value and contribute to savings, but it is the collective influence of a well maintained landscape that makes a real economic impact and has the greatest effect on property value. Trees properly placed around buildings can reduce air conditioning needs by 30% and save 20 to 50% in energy used for heating. So it's all about how it can economize, how it can save. And it's not about the aesthetic value, but if it's the aesthetic value, I need to look for some proof. The presence of trees in the modern metropolis. So do I see anything about trees being present? And that means like, how they beautify the city or how prominent they are? No. How trees can save people's money. And it is. Now, for example, in the middle, we can say direct economic benefits from a savings, then cooling costs are reduced. You see, you have to find key phrases in the middle of the paragraph too. That's a very important thing, guys. So don't say Nash told us to read only the first and the last sentence. But once one student said that, no, I'm not saying that. I said the first step. That's the first step. You choose and then you look for uh, key phrases in the middle of the paragraph. So well done. So that is the right way to deal with matching headings. You understand, yes? So if you practice like that, right, you will always get the answer correct. You will always. You see? So when you read, you have to read with a purpose. Guys, do you have questions? Maybe you must have practiced matching headings at home. No? Okay. Yeah. So
So
this
is there any app?
Pardon?
So is there
I'm
any
sorry.
app to practice like PT? We have APUNI. Likewise, do we have a
Yes,
app
we have.
for
I'll show you.
IELTS?
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. I'll share that and I'll share the link tomorrow. Yes, we do. We do. Yes, we do. And many, but we have to stick to official. Like that's the thing right now. That's a good point that you mentioned. You see, now PTE, right? You can't find textbooks. You go to Saraswati, you will not find. When I was there last time, they didn't have. But if you take IELTS, we have enough and more books and enough and more websites. But PTE, right? If you want to practice, you have the official platform to practice. They don't give guidelines. It's a bit messy, but yes. Like that for IELTS, we need to stick to IDP. IDP has the best platform now, guys. And that's it. But there are no such apps, you see, that is official. And we can't practice based on that. Even, guys, textbooks. Now, you can't prepare for IELTS based on Barron's. You can't prepare for IELTS based on Kaplan. You can't prepare for IELTS based on Macmillan. You can't prepare for IELTS based on uh, textbooks which don't come under Cambridge. I'm sorry to say that. I know that. Longman, for example. You can't. So that's the thing, guys. IELTS don't run after everything. You can't. You stop doing that. It's not about, no, I'm saying that you should join a course. No. Even if you're preparing by yourself, you stick to official materials. Otherwise, it's going to be a disaster. I had a lady, guys, who had taken the exam in Russia in 2014 17 times. There's a person from Russia now. 17 times. Her name is Marina. Now she's in Ireland. I swear, but 17 times. And when she came to me, she was so aggressive. She was rude. My staff didn't like her. They were thinking, like, who the hell is she? But then we became good friends because, I was very tough. I'm a bit expressive. You can see that. And I put her in a place. I said, either you follow the method or you go. So what happened was she came around. And the thing is, she just wanted to grab all the information. Right? So she had issues with writing and reading. So the thing is, guys, you can't run after all the information. She had spent at that time about 500,000 rubles. That's about 1.5 million rupees. Can you imagine? For her preparation. She had been to Malta and so on. So the point is, guys, you should not waste time on unnecessary materials. Fine. So now, guys, let's move on to the most important skill. And listen to me carefully. If you master this, you'll be able to deal with many question types. Okay, so let's focus on that. That is identifying keywords. Keywords means words which are important for us to understand the question, right? So in a sentence, when we see numbers, adjectives, adverbs, ordinal numbers, verbs, and the subject, we need to pay attention to that, right? For example, when was the first program released? So keywords are when, the first program. First is an ordinal number, like first, second, third. We know that, right? So first program released. So guys, can you tell me what information do we need to look for? What do we need to look for? It says, when was the first program released? Can you quickly type? What do we need to look for? What do we need to read it? Number. That means what? Huh? I heard the answer. Yeah. Yeah.
Date.
Numbers means date. Date. Exactly. Well done. Date. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. So don't you understand? We need to look for first program released. And whenever there is a verb, now here it's released, the text will have a synonym like launch, introduced to the audience. You see, I will always think about it. That's an important thing, you see. So you see, when you read the question, you need to read it with a purpose. Look at the next one. Where is the biggest building located? So we need to look for a place, right? Where biggest building. So the largest building, the location of the largest building. You see, like they might say, it was constructed in 1985 at a particular place. We should look for the place. How often do they meet in the city center? How often do they meet city center? So keywords are how often meet city center. So how frequently do they meet at the city center, you see? Then, which members of society benefited most from healthy lifestyles approach? So which members of the society? So I understand. So that means I need to look for which members benefited, like maybe the rich, maybe the poor, right? Then, during which decade were lifestyle risks seen as the major contributors to poor health? During which decade were lifestyle risks seen as the major contributors to poor health? You see, which decade? Is it? And yes, exactly. So it's very important to read questions with a purpose. Yeah. So guys, next one is paraphrasing. You see? So yeah, there's a bit of a noise. I'm sorry. So the thing is, guys, it's very important to focus on paraphrasing. You see, IELTS reading, being skilled at rephrasing is crucial. It demonstrates your understanding of the text, and doing it effectively can enhance your score by proving your ability to comprehend and rephrase sentences with the passage. So, you know, if they say, John played an important role in the company, when you read the text, you're not going to find John played an important role. They might say everyone contributed, but John's role was significant. You see, so important, we think about a synonym. They might change the word order, right? Or they might convert the word form. Next one is scanning. We're going to implement all these skills, guys, so don't worry. Scanning means searching for specific phrases in the text to answer some questions. The questions in IELTS reading test often includes dates, names, numbers, new terms, or other keywords. So it's a very good idea to underline those keywords while reading, so you could find the answers in the text more easily. So look at this, guys. How long? Now, don't find the answer, okay? I'm not interested in your answers. I want you to follow the steps, okay? First, listen to me. How long did William Alexander spend learning French? What are keywords? What words would you underline or pay attention to? How long did William Alexander spend learning French? So can you identify keywords here? How long did what are the keywords here, guys?
Period. Oh, yes.
Well done. So how long William Alexander spent learning French? So we need to know how long. So the period, the duration, number one. Number two, don't read the whole paragraph. We need to scan. And as you can see, we see the name William Alexander learning French. So we need to look for that. How long William Alexander learning French? So scan for French and William Alexander. Where can you find French? In which lines can you find French? Don't read, just look for French, guys. So don't you see that it's in the second line and the third line? So start with that. Like yeah, well done. I used to joke that. Can you read those lines? Remember the question. How long did William Alexander spend learning French? So find the duration. How long did he learn French? Read carefully, slowly, and give me the answer.
Yes.
Read carefully. How long did he learn French? Right? How long did he learn French? Uh-huh. So, guys, look, it says, I used to joke that I spoke French like a 3 year old, says William Alexander, the writer, until I met a French 3 year old and couldn't hold up my end of the conversation. This, he goes on to say, came after a year of intense study. You see, it's like I used to joke that I spoke French like a 3 year old, says William Alexander, the writer, until I met a French 3 year old and couldn't hold up my end of the conversation. So he couldn't really speak properly, right? This, he goes on to say, came after a year of intense study. Year of intense study. Yes, so the correct answer here is a year. This came after a year of intense study. So, guys, you see, don't rush, but read carefully. That's the most important thing. Is that clear? You see, so imagine you had like a text with 4 to 5 paragraphs. So imagine you have to find an answer for a question. Are we going to read the whole text? No. So that's the most important thing in IELTS. Our main purpose is to locate the information and read carefully. So the correct answer is 1 year. Well done. Very good. So those who got it right, it's fantastic. Very good. Lovely. So guys, now what I'm going to do, yeah, I'm going to show you all how to deal with true, false, not given. How to deal with true, false, not given. Okay. But we're going to go to the computer-based IDP interface because that way, you will understand how it looks. So just give me a second, guys. Okay. So just give me a second. I'll open it. Yeah. 1 second. Who has registered for the exam? Has anyone registered for the exam? Somebody's taking the exam very soon, right? Have you registered and have you registered with IDP or which one? No one. Okay, fine. Uh-huh. Okay, okay. Great, great. Fine, fine. Yeah. So the thing is, IDP is offering a great platform. So they've done a phenomenal job, and I would highly recommend that. Okay, guys. So now we're going to do true, false, not given. I'll explain the steps. I don't have it on my presentation, but I think it's easier. So, guys, at the exam, now with the computer-based test, this is how it would look. Can you see? Yes. So as you can see, the questions will be on the right side. The text will be on the left side. Do you see that? So the questions on the right side, the text on the left side, right? Look at the statement. What does it say? It says, Marie Curie's husband was a joint winner of both Murray's Nobel Prizes. So our main aim here is to see whether the given statement is true, false, or not given based on the text. Not from our knowledge, but from the text. So first step is to read the statement. Don't focus on the passage. It says Marie Curie's husband was a joint winner of both Murray's Nobel Prizes. So keywords are Marie Curie husband, the subject, joint winner. Now winner is the noun, joint is an adjective. Joint winner of both Nobel Prizes. So that means husband won 2 Nobel Prizes with Marie. What did I do, guys? I read the statement. I identified keywords. I made an effort to understand the statement that with her husband, she won 2 Nobel Prizes. That means husband also won 2 Nobel Prizes with Marie. Now, we need to locate the information. Now, this is about Nobel Prize. Can you scan, guys? Do it from right to left, okay? Where can you find Nobel Prize? In which paragraph can you find Nobel Prize? Is it in the first paragraph, the second paragraph, or the third paragraph? Where can you find Nobel Prize? First, well done. Well done. Now remember the statement. With her husband, they won 2 Nobel Prizes together. Can you read those lines? Can you read those lines? Like, for example, she's famous for her radioactivity and was twice a winner. And can you tell me whether this statement is true, false, not given? Don't rush. Did the husband win 2 Nobel Prizes together with Marie? Read slowly with a purpose. Yeah. What is the answer, guys? What do you think? It says she's famous for her work on radioactivity and was twice a winner of the Nobel Prize. With her husband, Pierre Curie, and Henry, she was awarded the 1903 Nobel Prize for Physics and was then sole winner of the 1911 Nobel Prize for Chemistry. Now, when you come back to the statement is saying Marie Curie's husband was a joint winner of both Marie's Nobel Prizes. So is this statement true or false or not given? What's the answer, guys? What do you think? Should not think much.
False.
It's false. It's false, guys. It's false, right? What does it say? It says she's famous for her work on radioactivity and was twice a winner of Nobel Prize. With her husband, Pierre Curie, and Henry, she was awarded the 1903 Nobel Prize. So with the husband, they won the 1903 Nobel Prize. But she was the sole winner of the 1911 Nobel Prize for Chemistry. So it's false. It's false. Look at the next one, guys. Marie became interested in science when she was a child. So keywords are Marie became interested when she was a child. You see? So Marie interested in science when she was a child. That means she loved science. She adored science during her childhood. Now, as you can see, we have childhood in the second paragraph. With true, false, not given, it goes in the same sequence, right? So it's easy. Can you read, guys, this up to here and tell me, is this true, false, or not given? Is there anything about science? So the question is, did she love science, right? Did she enjoy science?
Yes. True.
Now, guys, look, it says, from childhood, Marie was remarkable for her prodigious memory, right? And at the age of 16, won a gold medal on completion of her secondary education. But her father lost his savings through bad investment. She then had to take work as a teacher. Now, from her earnings, so guys, anything about her love for science? Do you see that? Now, the key word is science and love. Now, here what we
Not
see is
given.
that not given, exactly. You see, you stick to the keywords. You stick to the keywords, those who got it right, well done. So it's not true, it's not given. Nothing about her love for science, you see. So that's why keywords are important. I told you that. I'm not taking it away. You need to pay attention to keywords, guys. Next one. Okay, guys, can you tell me the keywords here? And identify the keywords, follow the steps. Mari was able to attend the Sorbonne because of her sister's financial contribution. What are we trying to identify here? Once again, I'll repeat. Mari was able to attend the Sorbonne because of her sister's financial education. What does it? Can someone explain that to me? What does it mean? Say it in your own words. Mari was able to attend the Sorbonne because of her sister's financial contribution. That means sister sponsored her education, gave money, right, for her education, right? So here we need to find two things. One is Sorbonne, the name of the university, and sister. Guys, where can we find Sorbonne? In which paragraph? And where can we find sister? Always scan. Don't read, scan. Where is Sorbonne? In which paragraph? Where is sister? Look for sister. You have to find it. It's a subject. It's very important in this context. It's an important point. So Sorbonne, you can see it's in the third paragraph. Agreed? It's in the third paragraph. Where is sister? Where can you find sister?
second para.
Well done. Very good. Very good. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. So now look at this, guys. Read this carefully. Okay. Read slowly. Okay. Remember the statement. Mari was able to attend the Sorbonne because of her sister's financial contribution. Read carefully, guys. Don't rush. Okay. Read slowly and get the answer.
False.
What does it say? It says, from her earnings, she was able to finance her sister Bronia's medical studies in Paris on the understanding that Bronia would in turn later help her to get an education. What does it mean? From her earnings, she was able to finance her sister Bronia's medical studies in Paris on the understanding, on the agreement, right, that Bronia would in turn later help her to get an education. In 1891, this promise was fulfilled, and Mari went to Paris and began to study at the Sorbonne. So, guys, what's the answer? First, she helped her sister on the understanding. Now, we even use it in our languages, guys. We have an understanding. That means we have an agreement, right? On the understanding that Bronia would, in turn, later help her to get an education. In 1891, this promise was fulfilled, and Mari went to Paris and began to study at the Sorbonne, the University of Paris. So, yes, it's true. Those who got it right, well done. It's true. It's true. So, do you understand, guys? Yes? So, just need to know how to deal with it. Fine. Well done. Very good. Very good. Yeah. So, guys, if you look at it, it's a vast topic. You need to know how to deal with every question type. So, I can't cover everything today. I did two with you all. So we have summary completion. We have multiple choice questions. Multiple choice questions, guys, they are more challenging and it requires more focus. Okay, so it's not that it will take a bit of time, but if you want, I'll just do one with y'all. Okay, I just want to do one with y'all. Okay, but it's a tough one. Okay, but if you get it wrong, don't worry, right? But if you get it right, then we are ending it on a high note. It needs a bit of time. Okay, so remember, that's why I told you guys. That's what I'm telling you. Just imagine there's a lot to learn. And if you keep wasting time on unreliable resources, we are heading towards disaster. That's true. That's very true. Okay. So the thing is, you just need to know the steps. Now, you see, we did based on the official materials. So that can't go wrong, right? So you can't say, okay, Nash is making things. No, we are sticking to the principle. And even this is the same. So, guys, with multiple choice questions, with the modern method, like, with the new syllabus, You don't have to really scan the text. You see, they always mention the paragraph in most cases. Now, what you have to do is first you need to read the question. It says, what point does the writer make about AI in the first paragraph? Now, read carefully. What point does the writer make about AI in the first paragraph? A, it is difficult to predict how quickly AI will progress. It is difficult to predict. B, much can be learned about the use of AI in chess machines. We can learn a lot from chess machines. The future is unlikely to see limitations on the capabilities of AI. The future is unlikely to see limitations on the capabilities, like how capable AI is. D, experts disagree on which specialized task AI will be able to perform. Experts disagree on which specialized task AI will be able to perform. So you'll always have four options. There will be a distractor and a correct answer. The rest, it's easy to identify. Now let's read the paragraph. We have to read the whole paragraph. Here we can't just scan because it says, what point does the writer make about AI in the first paragraph? So guys, can you all read, okay, and match with the option? Read carefully. So whenever there is a question and everything, you see a rhetorical question, you have to pause a bit, understand it. It's tough. This is from the third passage. I told you the first passage is the easiest. Second passage becomes more challenging. The third passage is the most challenging. I mentioned it. So don't worry. If you get it wrong, don't worry, guys. You will learn. Don't worry. It's a tough one. If you can get it right, it's wow. If you can't, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world, right? So let me read, guys. Yes? Any guesses? Which one? Is it the first, the A, B, C, or D? Now, A, it's difficult to predict how quickly AI will progress. Is that correct? B, much can be learned about the use of AI in chess machines. C, the future is unlikely to see limitations of the capabilities of AI. D, experts disagree on which specialized task AI will be able to perform. So, guys, look, this has been, okay, I see the answers coming. Okay, those who are getting it right, I see, okay. So, this is the third paragraph. See, this has been the decade of AI with one astonishing feat after another. A chess playing AI that can defeat not only all human chess players, but also previous human programmed chess machines after learning the game in just 4 hours. That's yesterday's news. What's next? True, these prodigious accomplishments are all in so called narrow AI, where machines perform highly specialized tasks. But many experts believe this restriction is very temporary. By mid century, we may have artificial general intelligence, that is AGI, machines that can achieve human level performance on the full range of tasks that we ourselves can tackle. Now, I know my options. Option now, it is difficult to predict how quickly AI will progress. No, they already mentioned, the author mentions the prediction, right? So we have to exclude that. B, much can be learned about the use of AI in chess machines. No, he just gives an example like chess playing AI that can defeat not only a human chess player, but also previous human programmed chess machines after learning the game in just 4 hours. That's yesterday's news. So nothing much. He's just trying to prove. But it's not like much we can learn. Look at D. Experts disagree on which specialized task AI will be able to perform. No. Many experts believe this restriction is very temporary. They all have a common view, right? Nothing about which specialized task AI will be able to perform. They don't mention that. So, guys, the correct answer is C. The future is unlikely to see limitations of the capabilities of AI. right? So when you deal with multiple choice questions, guys, you need to do it also with a purpose. I know it's a bit too much today, but you need to understand. I don't want to mention the organization. I had a job interview because now I'm in Sri Lanka. I was interviewing a teacher who has been preparing IELTS for 10 years in Sri Lanka. She works for two organizations. I can't mention the name because I'll be unprofessional if I mention them, but we all know those organizations. They're very famous. I asked her, tell me how to deal with multiple choice questions. And she couldn't answer. She couldn't tell me the right steps. So you need to understand that, guys. So never think that the exam is difficult. What you need is actually proper guidance, right? So that's an important thing because it doesn't mean that it's difficult. So Sri Lanka, guys, what is happening is it's like everybody is a guru and everyone is a trainer. And end of the day, it's actually the candidates who prepare, they suffer. Now, even on YouTube, it's a global thing, guys, because I've been to Uzbekistan. No, the thing is, guys, I worked as a director. I ran 4 exam centers. I ran the system. I signed the IELTS certificate. So compared to others, I'm sorry to say, I know better. I know. I worked with examiners. I conducted the exam. I promoted the exam. So I know the system, right? So what I can say with confidence is that it's not a difficult exam. If you're answering now, it's better. Even if you made a mistake, if you understand the steps, that's a great thing. Because I will get it right because that's something that I've been doing for more than 10 years, right? So I need to know. But that's my job. But for you all, what is important is to now understand the principle. That's a very important thing. Fine. So, guys, that's the way we prepare. So, if you're interested, you can join our programs. So, I just want to quickly show you how we prepare before I move on to writing. So, remember, guys, we have a very systemized structure with the way we prepare our students. And, for the past 10 years, we've had very successful results. So, we are not speaking about 6, 7, and so on, right? We are looking at even very high band scores from our Sri Lankan students. We have had 17 to 18 students who achieved very high scores on their first attempt. We are looking at 9, 8, 8.5, like 9 for reading and so on. You see, and some of them, they achieved very high scores on their first attempt. Now, this does not mean that you can't achieve, right? If you're performing now, if you're getting it right, that means you will have the right guidance towards achieving a very good score, guys. You see, so everyone can say something, so everyone can make noise. But what is very important is that you focus on vibration. Because when we come from our countries like Sri Lanka and so on, there's a lot of noise, but less vibration. You need to focus on vibration than the noise. You understand? Yes, that's important. And if you look at what should be done, and if you believe in that, then you should kind of think about the program. So, guys, before I move on to writing, what I want to say is there are 3 programs we have which are well structured. So, our journey, you will see the following way. Number 1, right? Interactive lessons. Number 2, personal guide. Now, interactive lessons mean Zoom lessons. And you see, we always get engaged with our students. Number 2, personal guidance. We are the only organization, I would say, even in Eastern Europe, where we have our own platform. Many people have platforms. I know that you can go and practice uh, different places, but this is a bit different, guys. This is not like that practice test online. Yeah, it's not. It's way better. So it's actually AI generated. So we built it through Eastern Europe. So what happens here, guys, is that so we have a system, guys, where so you see students interact with me and with our teachers. So we are constantly in touch with them. So we have a platform, guys, that works in a very interactive way. So it's not that you do practice tasks. So you actually get to do all the tasks on the platform. Now these are the lessons. Now, for example, we spoke about reading, right? So it covers all the key principles on our platform. So that's why it's actually very unique. So you see, there are lessons one by one. And then, guys, you see, now we spoke about how to match headings today, right? So it covers all the key features right from the beginning. So you get to see the lesson. Then you do theory one by one. You see, and it's very interactive. So sometimes some students find it extremely useful. even if they don't attend lessons and they achieve a very high score. And we can share the reviews of our students where they are very thankful. You see, so you do task, it's extremely interactive. You get to check the answers. If it's correct, it will show green. If it's a mistake, it will show that it's wrong. And then you need to move on. And there are video lessons as well, guys. You see, so you get to watch all my videos on the platform. So this is something like you'll never feel you're alone. You see, so it's not like, you practice from home and do everything by yourself, but you get to interact with me and you will see that our students send essays, we check it and so on. So during the program, we check up to 12 essays. Now you see, we have videos as well. It's loading. That's my internet. Yeah, so it doesn't take much time, guys. So you have to kind of, watch the video, do the task together, and it's extremely interactive. So you have that support right throughout, you see. So that's how the platform works. So we check essays, and you see students, they send their recorded answers, you see. We have to check, so they kind of, these are like our Sri Lankan students who work with us, and, we assess it. And we have Stephen as well, who will be checking the answers. So that's our personal guidance right throughout. So checking essays and so on. And the next one, guys, is actually training with ex-examiner. So we have Stephen, who is an ex-examiner. So he'll be checking essays together with me. So our program goes like this: preparation, practice, mock exam, pre-exam support. So you attend lessons, you practice on our platform. Then after completing the course, you'll be taking the mock exam. Then based on your performance, you will have additional support. That means if it's writing more essays. If it's about speaking, attending additional speaking lessons. If it's about listening and reading, maybe we would provide personal guidance on what exactly you should do. So it's not like we are making it general. What I want to say here is that we will assess what happened with reading, which question type, and we would guide you based on that particular question type. And that way, guys, you'll be able to achieve your required score. So we are officially working with IDP IELTS. We even won an award this year. So we'll be registering for the exam. You'll also receive 70 mock tests, although they say it's a mock test. These are like, an additional course for practicing, like I showed you all now. So we have 3 programs. One is essential. So this is ideal, guys, if you want to prepare by yourself. No, really. Maybe, you don't want to attend lessons, you want kind of, you like your own flexibility, right? So you have that personal guidance. So you attend 4 practical sessions, plus you get to have all the lessons on our platform. And, you'll be guided, your essays will be checked. And if you look at the price, guys, it's really worth considering, especially if you're taking the exam in 2 to 3 weeks. Expert, guys, is our comprehensive program. In a sense, if you're focused on IELTS, right, you're quite fluent, you're able to speak, you understand. And if you're able to understand everything today, if you're getting all the answers correct, it's a program that you should consider. So it's only for 5 weeks, and we have 10 lessons. Lessons are conducted twice a week. So altogether 10 lessons, plus the platform, plus the mock exam, right? And 12 essays are checked during the program, and additional essays, like 4 essays, are checked after the program. Proficiency is actually for those who would like to improve. So that's actually a 10-week program. You attend lessons twice a week, plus you attend our speaking workshop where we focus on grammar, vocabulary, and so on during the program. So that means like every Sunday, I'm sorry. So it's like 30 lessons together, right? So usually we have lessons Mondays and Wednesdays for IELTS. And then this additional lesson will be on Sundays for the moment. So that's going to be from 8:30 to 10 p.m. So here, guys, you also have a special grammar course on our platform for the proficiency. You see, so that's like, improving our overall skill. And then we focus on the preparation as well. So as you can see, we have 2 weeks of live lessons, 5 weeks of live lessons for the expert course, and 10 weeks of live lessons for the proficiency course. You see, so 14,000 is the price for essential, 21 is actually for the expert, and 31,000 for the proficiency. But with our special discount, and this is the last week we've been giving this discount, we'll be giving, because we have been doing it for the past 2 weeks, to be very honest with y'all, and we want to end with our last batch for March. You see, so the essential is going to go for 11,000. So once again, remember, you can't expect a structured program from Zoom lessons, but you'll get an idea. So if you found my session now valuable, Just think you're going to have 4 sessions like that, right? Plus, you're going to work on the platform, and the platform is going to guide you from A to Z. Everything is there, guys. You can't find a platform like that. It's not because of the technology, it's the content. You see, so everything will be covered. So for 11,000, you're going to have access to 300 lessons. 300 lessons. The expert guys, you have access to the lessons plus Zoom lessons covering everything. That means if you look at writing, all the essay types, task one and task one academic and task one general, then speaking, all 3 parts and the question types, reading, like, you will learn how to approach every question type, listening, all 4 parts and the question types. Proficiency, I've already mentioned, we focus on grammar, more speaking practice, and you get to learn and revise every question type. So you get to practice twice compared to expert. So I hope that the idea is clear, right? So that's why we have this difference. So it's about paying 10,000 rupees extra to get that proficiency. And if you're aiming for a very high score, you need 7 for every section, you need an overall 8. That's the program I would highly recommend. So guys, we don't just ask you to join. We have a very objective assessment. So we don't send the payment details and so on in the group. We would ask you to take a grammar test. We would assess your level. And you also need to understand, okay, did I find the lesson difficult today? Do I need more practice? So try to make a decision objectively. That's an important thing, you see? So those are the programs we have. So guys, yeah, we would ask you to take the grammar test, assess your level. The manager would ask you to kind of take the grammar test, and they would assess your level and would offer the correct program. But if you're in a hurry and so on, you can always discuss and we can see how we can help you. So we also do that. So there are students, they say like, I just need more speaking, I just need more writing, right? So that could be done too. Now, if you want to only focus on reading, right? So let's say like you don't need all these things, you just want to focus on reading, then we have actually our reading course on the platform, and that's only 6,500 rupees. So you'll only have access to our reading. So you can just buy that and practice and ask questions and get guidance. If you want to practice only writing on our platform, that's only 9,000 rupees, guys. So there, you just write essays, get feedback, and the whole program will cover. But if you want access to the whole platform, right, and the 4 sessions, then consider this option, guys. I don't think anyone is able to offer what we offer for the price we offer and the knowledge and the experience we have, right? So you need to kind of take that into account as well. Another point is, quite often people ask, I need physical classes. We don't provide physical classes, but why do you need physical classes when you can have access to everything? And anyway, the exam is computer based, right? So I don't get that logic, right? And the point is, would physical classes solve the issues we have, like grammar, vocabulary, speaking practice? Because anyway, it's virtual. Number 2, to go to a place and live and study. Whether that's practical, can we cover everything within 7 days? Because it is a vast topic. So it requires more focus and a lot to learn, but strategically, we can learn everything. So compared to those things, guys, I can assure you, you're going to save a lot of time. And now with the issue we have with fuel, I think it's an optimal option as well. So guys, the offer ends tomorrow. We are starting our batch on Wednesday, the 18th of March, and that would be our last batch till May, especially if you're targeting April, May, June, July, you see. So because we've been recruiting and forming these groups, so it's almost formed. So we have weekend groups as well, Saturdays and Sundays. So you can take that also into account. Fine. So guys, now for writing, I'll take questions a bit later. So as for writing, I want to share an important thing. Okay, so I'm not going to show you essay structures and everything, but I'm going to show you a very important aspect when it comes to writing. Yeah. Thank you, Neil. So guys, when it comes to writing, remember, it's very important to structure our paragraphs. Okay, so you see, a paragraph without structure is like a house without a foundation. Learn to build solid paragraphs and your writing will stand strong. Okay, so we usually recommend the Peel paragraph structure. Peel. So write powerful topic sentences, develop arguments with depth, support ideas with effective examples, and create band 6, 8 plus body paragraphs. Okay. So I'm not going to confuse you all much because it's a bit too much for you all. So remember, every paragraph should have a point, an example, sorry, an explanation, an example, then link. Connect back to the first sentence. You see? So, for example, guys, what's your main idea? Explain why or how, show a real case, and answer the question. So, for example, okay, we have three paragraphs. One is a 5.56, like A to B1. One is B to C1, and one is a band 8 plus. Okay. But I'm going to focus now only on the first paragraph and the second paragraph, guys. Okay. The third later, not today. So look at the first paragraph. It's about public transportation. It says public transportation is very good for cities. It helps because many people can travel together on one bus or train. This means fewer cars on the roads and less pollution in the air. For example, in Singapore, many people use MRT train system every day. The city has much less traffic because of this. So public transportation really helps cities become cleaner and less crowded. But look at the next paragraph. It says investment in public transportation offers substantial benefits for urban areas. This is primarily because well developed transit systems encourage people to use fewer private vehicles. When public transport is reliable and affordable, commuters naturally choose these options instead of driving. Take Singapore as a clear example. Their MRT system serves over 3 million passengers daily, which has resulted in significantly reduced traffic congestion. Research shows that areas with better public transport have 40% less traffic. Consequently, government investment in public transportation demonstrates clear benefits for modern cities. So every paragraph, now I'm not saying that you should write like this like right from the beginning, right? It's impossible. But you need to know the components because examiners look for it. Number one, your main point. Number two, explaining that point. Number three, example to support that point. Number four, linking it. So that's why peel. Remember it, guys. It's a very valuable thing. Peel, right? So the thing is, first of all, the vocabulary, right? If you look at 5.56, we would use common words like good, helps, less. But for band 7 and high, we would use substantial, reliable, reduced. Sentence, as you can see, simple, and B2C1, some complex structures. Now, basic Singapore, less traffic. You see, we become more specific with the example. And instead of using linking words such as so, because, we can use consequently, primarily. You see? So, guys, when we start the main point, remember, this is going to be very interesting for you all. Now, a 5.56 would say exercise is very important for health. Studying abroad is a good idea. Technology can help children learn. But when you write a high band score sentence, you would say regular exercise offers substantial health benefits. You see? Now, exercise is very important for health. We can say regular exercise offers substantial health benefits. Now, for example, now think about some examples, okay? Remote working offers substantial benefits for workers. You see? Or living in a big city offers substantial opportunities for every individual. Think about it, right? Public transport offers substantial benefits for commuters. You see? So this is not difficult, guys. I learned it from a very nice professor. Her name is Anne Waller from the UK. And she actually really showed us that English is not about learning grammar, but also understanding one component and creating several examples, right? Now, for example, studying abroad provides valuable cultural experience. Now, rather than saying studying abroad is a good idea, right? Technology has transformed how children access education. You see, so we can actually make it better. So you see, your topic sentence should be structured like that. Then the explain component, right? Like exercise helps because it makes your body stronger. This means you will be healthier and feel better. You see, elaboration. Now, this is primarily because regular physical activity strengthens the cardiovascular system. When people exercise consistently, they reduce their risk of chronic diseases. Then, guys, the examples. Now, quite often I get this question like, but I don't know real statistics. This is what students ask me all the time, really. So the thing is, use general knowledge. For example, many people in my country use buses and trains. Or take Japan as an example. The public transport system is very efficient and widely used. Or use approximate realistic numbers. Like, for example, thousands of people use the subway every day in big cities. Now, if you take Colombo, thousands of people use buses to commute, right? We don't have to count them, but no, maybe thousands, maybe millions, I don't know, maybe thousands, I guess. You see, for instance, major cities like Tokyo report millions of daily public transport users. You see, so think logically, guys. You don't have to go for statistics. That's not true. You see, so for example, there are patterns. Number one, country, city, general trends, observation examples. Now, for example, in Singapore, many people use trains, or these days, more and more people work from home. Or as an observation, we can say, I have noticed that students learn better with technology. Right? Or take Singapore as an example. Their MRT system is highly popular among residents. In recent years, remote work has become increasingly common. Observations suggest that technology-enhanced learning improves student engagement. You see, so need to kind of understand that. Then, guys, link component. You see, so public transportation is very good for cities. Consequently, public transportation offers clear benefits to urban development, right? So we can use these ideas. Fine. Yeah, so guys, I'm going to take 5 more minutes before I finish because you will find it very valuable. Now you can say, oh my God, how can I write like this, right? I'm never going to write like this, right? It's okay to think like that. Everyone can feel it. So remember, at the exam, when it comes to writing, there are 6 sentence structures you need to know. 6 sentence structures, okay? So as you can see, guys, for every lesson, we have nice presentations. So we, have invested a lot in our materials. Maybe not much in equipment in office premises because we focus more on the quality of teaching. So the thing is, band 5 sentence structures would look like this. Like, technology is good. It helps students. They can learn online. This is useful. Many schools use technology. Students like it. But it's better to structure like this. Technology, which has become increasingly prevalent in education, offers substantial benefits for students who wish to enhance their learning. While some educators express concerns about screen time, the advantages of digital resources significantly outweigh the drawbacks. So that's how we need to write. So based on that, guys, remember, you need to know 6 sentences. 6 sentences. One is relative clauses. That students who study regularly achieve better results. Conditional sentence. If governments invest in education, society will benefit. Time clauses. While technology offers advantages, it also presents challenges. Reason clauses, like since education is essential, governments should fund it. Then contrast clauses, like although technology is expensive, schools should invest in it. Then participle clause, like having studied abroad, she gained valuable experience. So honestly speaking, to achieve a very high score, you just need to learn these 6 clauses. This is important for IELTS and also for PTE. So you can't take it for granted. So these are the 6 clauses that you need to learn, and that will be easier. So guys, I'll just teach you one, okay? I don't think you'll have time. So only one. Relative clauses. What are relative clauses? Clauses to define. Now, for example, students who work hard succeed. Teachers who use technology are more effective. Now, we use it with who? Like students who work hard succeed. So we don't use the comma because students succeed, but who succeed? What kind of students, right? So that's why we say students who work hard succeed. Teachers who use technology are more effective. People who live in big cities have more opportunities. You see? People have more opportunities. Isn't it easy? People have more opportunities. People who live in big cities have more opportunities. Is it difficult, guys? No, I don't think it's difficult. You see, technology which improves learning is valuable. Online courses which offer flexibility are popular. This is the book that I recommend. People that exercise regularly are healthier. So, band five, have a friend, she lives in London. It's better to say, I have a friend who lives in London. Technology is important, it helps students to learn. Technology, which helps students to learn, is important. You see, so you kind of convert it like that, guys. You see, so for example, I know a teacher who works at Harvard, right? Now, for example, guys, students are successful, they study every day. Students who study every day are successful. This is students who study every day are successful, right? Now, technology is useful. It connects people globally. Technology that connects people globally is useful. Do you understand? So, guys, you will get there. I just want to show you, you will get there. You see, so we have materials for this. So that's how I conduct my lessons today. I'm not going to engage you all. So every lesson, especially for the proficiency, you also get to work on your writing like this, and you will have our feedback. And as you can see, we ask people to come forward and share their sentences. So that will be important as well. Fine. So, guys, do you have questions? Any tips that you would like to know from me? So remember, if you're interested in the program, you can take the grammar test before enrolling. So we are forming groups to support students to take the exam end of April with the expert. And then, so end of April to mid-May, right? We are looking at mid-May, end of May, then better go for the expert. But from end of May to June, till end of June, you have the proficiency. Because it's important, guys, you need to have a target and you will feel like you're part of a community, right? So you're not alone. You'll be working, and you get to meet our students. And if you want, you can watch my recording as well with the speaking, and you'll see that, like, we all work like a family. We get to interact with others, and also, guys, it's very nice to have a buddy, like a partner. When you prepare, you also have that person, so you all kind of communicate, study together. We have our platform. You get to communicate, and also, guys, with our Sunday sessions with the proficiency, you get to interact with our European students. So, you get to practice with them. So that's a nice experience as well. So you get to overcome the language barrier, and students, they found it really useful. So they really found it useful, guys. Fine. So do you have questions? Any question that you would like to ask about IELTS? Maybe you would like to know something about PTE, maybe? No, right? Okay. Anything, guys? Maybe, you feel like there is something difficult for you. So I can give you a minute before we wind up. Okay, no questions. Okay, that's great. So I hope it's clear. Yeah, so guys, I think it's clear. Remember what we learned today, right? So we learned the 5 essential skills. We focused on true, false, not given, implementing those skills. And also we learned how to deal with matching headings. What is very important now is to revise, practice more. And a key thing, guys, is not to practice with unofficial materials. That could be very misleading. So it's better to focus on official materials, guys. So, Janani, I can share a recording. So as for speaking, we actually ask, so we show the guidelines. We show the guidelines, like how they should answer. And then we encourage students to answer. So I can show you a quick presentation of mine, right? So that way it's easier, right? Because I don't believe in just saying, then, that will be fake. So I like to show proof. So you see, we have a very structured approach, which I believe it is, because what we do here is that we don't start immediately with the speaking questions and answering, right? So we show this is one of the lessons, like present perfect versus past simple, right? So we show theory, we get students involved in answering the questions. Then what we do is that, we ask students to answer. Now, for example, have you ever baked a cake on your own? So I can't say, yes, I baked a cake on my own. It should be present perfect. Yes, I have. In fact, I've baked many cakes by myself because I really enjoy it. And the last time I baked a chocolate cake, and it was really delicious. And you can watch if you want. I can share a recording of this particular lesson, and students do get involved. Then we show how to use it at the exam, right? Do you buy things online? Actually, ever since I moved to St. Petersburg, I've always bought clothes and accessories online. I just don't have time to visit shops, right? And then we show questions like, do you read novels? I do. I've always enjoyed reading novels because it helps me to relax. So that's why I've read hundreds of novels and I've found something very popular. You see, for example, so how to use it. So we kind of go there. Then we kind of teach like used to and would. I'm not going to teach now because I think it'll take time. And then we show tasks, we get them involved, and then we show how they can use it at the exam. And then you see, we focus on the exam questions. And then, students answer, they work in pairs, they practice. And then, guys, I ask them to record their answers for these questions. And then I provide detailed feedback. So usually students have to submit by Saturday and we provide feedback. So that's how we conduct speaking. As for listening, we have similar presentations for listening as well. So every lesson, we have presentations. You see, so it's not like you come Zoom. So it's more convenient, guys. So it's not like, you go to a classroom, it's a whiteboard, right? You have structured materials for every lesson. You see, so that's there. Yeah, so that's how we prepare. I hope I have answered your question. And for listening, yes, you see. So this is like a revision class 1 and 2. So I kind of show them what they should do. Then students answer, we discuss it. You see, so steps are given. So this is like a revision class. So for every lesson, we have PPTs. You see, strategy is given, presentations are provided, recording is provided. That's how we prepare, guys. Okay. Any more questions? No, right? Okay, fine, guys. So we'll be in touch. I wish you guys all the very best. Now, remember, once again, you need to have a clear target. I keep saying that. Write it down, the score that you want to achieve. Write down the score you want to achieve. Let it be a very high score. Visualize that, like as if you have already achieved that score. Think about how it's going to change your life and work towards towards that, guys. So I think if you have clear goals, if you visualize your goal, if you make it a strong desire, you will achieve it. And I really want you all to achieve the highest thing in life or the best things in life. And I wish you guys all the very best. So thank you very much, guys. I hope you found it useful. Looking forward to teaching you all. Until then, guys, have a great evening. Take care. Good night, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.